We just left Tombstone and we're heading over to the Tucson area towards Saguaro National Park. This video will give you a highlight of both the east and west parks, and based on what we see, we'll let you know what we think is better, east or west. We would love to hear from you what you think, so join us and let us know what you think at the end as to which is better, the east or the west. This park is split into two distinct districts, Saguaro East and Saguaro West, and it takes about 45 minutes to get from one to the other. We do plan on doing the east side of the park today and hopefully catch the Mount Lemon or Mount Lemon highway, but we wanted to take that scenic highway and then check in for our overnight stay. We'll have 2 nights in Tucson area. There's our first saguaros. This saguaro is from 1916. Visitor Center, here we go. So I've been saying saguaro wrong. I was saying saguaro. It's saguaro. It's amazing to realize that these cacti are so slow growing that the first 10 years of their lives, they may only reach 3 inches. It gets its first flowers at 35 years old, and they're about 6 feet tall at that point. They don't get their arms until they're about 60 years old, and they can reach up to 40, 50 feet tall. Another fact is that they only grow in the Sonoran Desert. That's in southern Arizona, California, and northern Mexico. The first thing I notice is that it's a lot more crowded here. Look at all these cars. All right, Vito, you ready for a little bit more crowds?
Yeah, be ready for this. This is like the first real madhouse we're gonna experience.
With only having a few hours to spend in Saguaro National Park East, we decided we would drive the 8-mile paved scenic Cactus Forest Drive loop and stop for a short hike at Mica View Trailhead and finish our day at Javelina Rocks. This is a one-way. We are going clockwise. There are various pull-offs you can stop at along the way. The east side of the park has over 65,000 acres, which is about 105 square miles, which is huge. And it is about 2.5 times larger than the west side. This is the Mica View picnic area we're going to. It's a dirt road. We're going to take a short hike. The east side of the park is known for having the older saguaros. And as we just learned, this means that they are bigger and have more arms. They just seem to be grander and more impressive. But they are a little bit more spread out than what you'll find on the west side. Alright, this is the parking situation. We're gonna pull around down this road and try and park at one of the pullouts. So you can do a boot wipe just to prevent your shoes from bringing in invasives from other areas. What do you think about the crowds?
Well, it's not bad. The weather has gotten everybody out here. This is definitely the warmest it's been since we've been on our vacation.
Yeah, it's in the 60s right now and they're expecting 70.
I got a t-shirt on, so I haven't worn a t-shirt yet.
So, cactus getting ready to bloom. Some prickly pears. We're doing a 2-mile trail on the Mica View Cactus Forest Loop. Vito is 6 feet tall. It is a huge cactus.
Live in Saguaro National Park, Betty. Have you ever seen any saguaros this size?
All right, I saw in the visitor center, it's actually called Saguaro. These things are huge. They grow up to 50, 60 feet tall.
Look at the size of these things.
And they can live to be 150, 200 years old. Amazing. You got chalas, barrel cactus, and saguaros off in the distance.
So I was thinking we could go back.
So this is the Broadway trailhead. We're gonna loop around on the desert loop. We're doing the Mica View Trail South, 1 mile back. There's a lot of connecting trails in here, so you can make these hikes as long or as short as you want. We could connect, make a 3.8 mile loop, but we're gonna stick with the 2 miler and make sure we get the scenic drive done. With the interconnecting trail network that the east side of the park has, it is really set up great for hiking. The one thing the east side of the park has that the west doesn't is an opportunity for backcountry hiking at high elevations. Mica Mountain is at 8,668 feet and Rincon Mountain is at 8,482 feet. Both of these can be accessed with overnight hikes, and they do require a permit. This one's unique. Look at all these arms.
I'll tell you, these saguaros, they're huge. They can weigh a couple thousand pounds. I believe it now, man. I haven't seen any this big ever.
There's a lot of mesquite in the park too.
Look at this thing right here, man. It's shaped like a ram. See that? Oh, no thanks.
How many feet tall do you think it is?
That's big, man.
Still quite a few young ones. I don't see flowers. We got 0.3 left to go. We're going through the Javelina Wash. This is the Javelina Wash.
This is Javelina Ward.
Yep. When it rains, I imagine it fills with water. We are back up to the parking area. Back on the Scenic Drive.
There's a sign right there.
That's the Cactus Forest North Trailhead. If you wanted to do a loop, you could do one from here. There are places to pull out along the way, but you can see there's only room for a couple cars that each pull out. Sometimes only one car. See a little bit of Tucson down there. These rocks behind me are the Javelina Rocks. Rocks are made out of Catalina gneiss. It's an ancient granite. People come up to the Javelina Rocks for sunset, but I imagine it'd be very hard to find a parking spot. Surprised Vito came up here. Solid.
How was that, man?
Not bad.
Where are we at?
We're at Javelina Rocks. So they're nice striations in the rocks. They're named after the Javelinos. We're finishing our ride on the 8-mile scenic loop here in Saguaro National Park on the east side of it. We're going to head to the Mount Lemon Highway. Be sure to check out our next video for that. In the meantime, let's head on over to the west side of the park. Kings Canyon Trail. Day 16 of our 28-day Southwest adventure. Where are we today?
Saguaro West Park. Doesn't look like we're going to see as many huge, big, crazy looking saguaros, but we'll see what we find.
Yeah, the Rincon district has the older, lots of arms, and this is the Red Hill district, and it has more of the younger, but more concentrated. Overall, the Saguaro National Park has 2 million saguaros, cactus. Can you believe that?
Let's say it's the signature plant of Arizona. We'll see.
Yesterday we did stop on the east side and there was a lot more people. Already seen at least 6 people start this trail ahead of us. So we'll see how crowded it is. We are doing a short trail. We are not doing Wasson Peak. Wasson Peak sits at an elevation of 4,687 feet, which is about half as high as the Mica and Rinco mountains on the east side. It does offer the best view in the park, but you'll have to be willing to hike an 8-mile hike to see it. Vito is not wanting to do the long distance.
Oh, I'd rather do 4 short ones that add up close to a long one, and you see more variety of the park that way. That's my philosophy of hiking.
So that's what we're going to do today. This is the start of Wasson Peak through Kings Canyon, but we're going to cut off and head over to the Gould mine and then come on back down. So total about 3 miles. I don't like all that noise on that road by us. Let's see if we can get up and away from it. Yeah, Wasson Peak's 3.5 miles up. So we will not be doing that. In lieu of doing some short hikes, the scenic drive, and taking our time. If you were to do the Wasson Peak, I suggest getting up early before the sun starts beating down because there is no shade. This trail's a little more rugged than yesterday. Yep, when it rains, the water should be all down in there. These are very sharp looking. Vito's taking a layer off. We've gone probably 0.6 so far. It's leveling off a little. Not quite at the top of where we're going, but we're going to be heading around to the left here pretty soon. So you can see all the saguaros. King Canyon Trail off to the left. That is not a trail. This is that wash area that we saw from above. Not sure what this outpost is. There's a door. No handle. Gotta pay attention to these signs. There's different trails that come back here. There's another trail over here. The other trail would go up to Wasson Peak on Kings Canyon Trail. So we are doing the short loop, and hopefully we'll see the Gould mine.
Now there's signs out here that say no camping, I understand that, but no wood gathering? Where's all the wood out here? There's no wood out here.
There's one of the signs right there.
I couldn't find wood if I wanted to. Great combination of cactuses here. Here you got your cholas, which are not going to be in bloom till March or April. Oh yeah, you got your saguaros. You got
prickly pears, and you got the barrel. We're not sure what these spindly, sharp thorn things are. We have to look those up. I haven't mentioned the crested sauroras. They are most likely in the East Park. We missed them yesterday. There's only about 75 of them, so you really have to be on the lookout for them. And yesterday when we were on the east side, we didn't know to look for them. I do not like the sound of planes.
We are on the Esperanza Trail, heading towards Gould Mine. You got a beautiful overlook here. You got peaks, you got Saguaro cactuses, you got a nice trail on the right, and you got mountains and desert in the background.
It's a nice concentration of saguaros through here. Cactus all around. We'll be coming back this way. We're gonna go ahead and go up and check out the mine. This is the top of the Gould mine. Ooh, pretty trusting this thing better hold up. It is steel. Alright, that's a view down into the mine. The origins of this mine was from 1906. And they thought there was an abundance of minerals in here, particularly copper, but it failed to yield a lot. It is a nice view from here. Sendero Esperanza means Trail of Hope.
Where'd you figure that out?
Google's a good thing up on top of this mountain. Yeah, you do have service up here. Well, that's one of the bigger cactuses.
What do you call that?
I call it a cactus that's learned how to survive. So the pros of this trail, it's relatively easy and you get a nice view. The con is what you hear in the background.
One is the wide herb cactus. You can see it's got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and his big mustache right there. That's wide herb cactus right there, man.
I have a quarter-mile left. The road's just off to my right. There's the parking lot. The bees are busy. Stopping at the Red Hill District Visitor Center. They got some nice displays in here. Talks about the birds and making their homes and nests inside these saguaros. Looks like you can see about 50 miles away. These are the different peaks.
Thunderstorms, flash floods rush down here, and you can see how they scrape away the dirt and the rock under the sandy surface. So called a desert wash.
So this is your suggestions from the park on how much time you have and what to do. We are going to take the Bajada Loop, which is on the Hohokam Drive, and then we will stop at the Valley View Overlook Trail and do a little bit of that. The Signal Hill Petroglyphs Trail. That's 3 to 4 hours in the park. So we're doing east versus west. This visitor center is
beautiful.
Both of us like this one.
The signage is much better. The parking situation is much better. The west visitor center is a lot better. The entrance is better. And the surroundings are a lot more beautiful. I mean, it's nicer out here.
The west side scenic drive is just a little shorter than the east side at 6 miles. The biggest difference is that it is unpaved. You'll also want to make sure you go counterclockwise on this road because there is a small section that is a one-way. A little bumpier than the other one, that's for sure. On the east part of the park, you do have to go through a ranger station to get onto the loop. There's nothing like that on the west side. So you can see the parking's a little tough. It's 12:30 in the afternoon. This is the Valley View Trailhead. Definitely more concentrated for cactus on this side, but the size of them is bigger in the east. We're still doing the Bajada Loop and heading to the Signal Hill picnic area where they have petroglyphs. This part of the road is actually two-way, so there's a mix of one-way and two-way roads. Just stopping on the side of the road, I think I might have found a crested cactus. I can't believe it, we found a crested Saguaro cactus. It's right off the road that takes you down to Signal Hill. It's off to the right as you're going in, so just be on the lookout for it. We're going to do this short 0.3 Signal Hill trail. Civilian Conservation Corps put some of the shelters together around here. $1 a day. Looks like they use some saguaros for the wood. There's a couple of picnic areas down here. You can grill if you bring your food. There's no food in the park, so make sure you bring your own food for lunch and your water so that you're all set. So you can catch different trails. The scenic trail over here on the west side is going to connect with really short trails. Not an extensive amount of trail networks. We're going to just do the Signal Hill. Up on the top here is supposed to have some petroglyphs. It's hard to see from down here, but you can see some of them. There's some animals on this one. So this little 3/10 of a mile hike is probably worth it if you want to see a little bit of petroglyphs.
Our last hike in Saguaro National Park, Wild Dog Trail. Let's see how wild it is, Betty. It's a pretty nice little trail.
Yeah, we're about a half mile in. We decided to go ahead and turn around because we did park on the road, and I don't think we'll see much else. I do like the mountains with the cactus on this trail. Comparing east to west, I think I like the west better. A little bit more ruggedness. All right, we're trying to find out what Vito likes better, east or west.
I like the east because the Mica trail was nice. I mean, there was some huge Saguaros along that trail and some really nice configurations of these things. But this side's nice, a lot of nature on this side, a lot of vegetation. Beautiful. I never would have thought that the desert would maintain this wide variety of vegetation.
So the east or west decision, if you have to choose, is going to really depend on what your interests are. If you want to see the huge big cacti, then you'll probably want to be on the east side. The west side does have a higher concentration, so depends on what you're looking for. I think both parks are great. Really? Your call. Hopefully we've given you enough information on this video to make up your own mind as to which is better for you. Let us know in the comments below what you think after watching the video is better. Or if you visited here before, let us know what your opinion is as to which is better, east or west. We are continuing our 28-day Southwest adventure. Tomorrow we will be in Organ Pipe. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you think is the better side, east or west.